It's actually not my team that's going to coach you for several months. It's me.
Welcome back to my self-love journey where I'm currently in a messy part of my life and I'm navigating with the help of motivational speaker Lisa Nichiols. And instead of hiding my healing, I've decided to share all that I'm learning from her with you. And today she is here. Welcome, Lisa.
So much. I appreciate having the opportunity to have this conversation with you. And when you just said, I'm in a messy part of my life, I think so many of us go in and out of mess magic.
Mm.
Messy magic,
Yes, messy magic for sure.
a masterpiece of my mess, So I applaud you for choosing to navigate this journey eyes wide open and quite honestly, curtains wide open. You know,
Mm.
I'm in a season of pulling back my curtains a bit more as well. So I applaud you.
Thank you. And thank you for not just being here today, but your presence is all up and through every every episode, because we met on the Tamron Hall Show and Lisa, like you have gone above and beyond like a public promise. And my
Mm.
experience with you has been, use your word, delicious. And when you have something so good, you want to share it. Like you want to share it. And it's like my gratitude is just so big. I just don't think there's anything I could like say, here, Lisa, thank you. It's like the best way is to pay it forward.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
No, I appreciate that. I know this sounds cliche as an auntie would say, but I see so much in you, and I saw so much in you on the Tamron Hall Show, and I've seen so much of myself in you, and I know what I needed. I needed someone to see beyond my mess and to my possibility. I needed someone to deposit into the woman that I believed I could become and honor the woman I was in that moment. I needed that. And I'm not gonna say I didn't get it. I just wish I would have gotten it from a big sister or an auntie like energy that could have hard conversations with me. They did it for all the right reasons with no agenda and me being the agenda. And so I'm simply paying forward what I needed and what I wished I would have had. And I'm excited that we're having this conversation publicly because there's so many other beautiful young sunflowers
Mhm.
out there in the world who are blossoming, and you're opening up and you're figuring things out and you're climbing over the thorns and you're plucking the weeds around you and you're budding new leaves, and a little guidance, a little instruction, a little coaching rooted in love with
Mm.
no agenda could make all the difference in the world.
It has me. This year has been challenging, and you've been so instrumental in how I'm navigating, especially, through grief. My Uncle Tony passed, and today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Uncle Tony. I just, again, like grief is so new for me, and it's like you just were right on time because I have no idea, where I would be just emotionally in my state of mind had I not had your guidance and the guidance of your circle, your mastermind group, and just this is my grown woman era.
Hey, 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 grown women, welcome.
Yes, I like listen. Speaking of grown woman, I want to talk about this grown woman experience. Thank you for inviting us to Speak and Write to Make Millions. Let me be honest. When you invited me, you said, Shakyra, are you coming to? Look, I was already there. just physically, spiritually, like I was already, I didn't know where I was, but I was already like, if Lisa invited me somewhere, I'm there. So my excitement was louder than your your words. So could you explain to us, go into a little bit more detail about Speak and Write and what
Actual invitation that you already said yes to?
yes.
Yeah. So I believe that when like-minded, like energy, like-hearted people come together, something magical happens that can't happen when we're by ourselves. I believe that we navigate through so much of our life around people, but not necessarily with them as much as we'd like to be connected. So I created Speak and Write to Make Millions. This is like our 15th annual one, but I created uh, Speak and Write to impact millions and then to generate millions so that one, we get to know that our voice can be used to empower and inspire others. However you want to do it, from a boardroom, from an artist's perspective, as a songwriter, as a spoken word artist, as a teacher, in whatever your form is, on television and media and print, whatever your form is, your voice not only has a right to be heard, but it needs to be heard. That someone's going to get their breakthrough, someone's going to get their inspiration because they got in proximity of your voice and you let it be heard. And so Speak and Write to Make Millions is not about learning how to be a platform speaker, a stage speaker like I am. It's literally giving your voice permission to be heard, louder, bigger, bolder. It's accessing what your soul has to say. Your soul has a message written on it. And I believe that message was written on your soul long before your name was known. And that message is trying in its different many forms to get out of you. And I kind of serve as the midwife for 3 days. So in August, August 22nd through the 24th, we really come together. And one of my students has said it's a cross between a university class, because I do teach you the techniques of being impactful. How do you captivate an audience? How do you leave an indelible imprint? How do you keep people wanting more of you? How do you go viral without the intent to go viral? You go viral because you're delicious. You go viral because people want to consume more of you, not because I got a go viral strategy. I never had a go viral strategy. So when I got 47 million views of the Steve Harvey 3-minute and 24-second piece, when I got 1.4 million views in 36 hours, when I was on another show, when it's gone viral, I go, oh, okay, that's what they want to hear. But I didn't do it to go viral. I did it because I knew the techniques and I knew the conversation that people wanted to hear. And I also knew how to tell the story. It's not enough to have a story in you. You need to know how to tell it so that it lands clear, concise, powerful, and quick. So I want to teach everyone in this season. I spent the last 15 years being LeBron James and being Kobe Bryant and being Michael Jordan. And in this season, I want to be their coach, Phil Jackson. And so my coaching you and watching your win is actually more exciting to me than me making the shot. And I say that humbly. I say it so humbly. I've made the shot 1,000 times. Now I'm surprised if I shoot and I don't make the shot. I'm like, why didn't you make that shot? That's a different energy. It's time to stop shooting and it's time to coach you to shoot. And so I'd rather not make 1,000 more shots. I'd rather teach 1,000 people how to make one shot, because then when they make that shot 1,000 times, now that's 100,000. That's 1,000,000 shots versus mine. And so I'm just in this different season where I want to help other people win the way I want. In 1994, I was on government's assistance. I had my food stamp book. I'm ripping out the food stamp book. I'm getting free cheese and free pasta and free butter. I'm grateful. Free milk. I'm grateful. I'm in the Thanksgiving line, getting my box of stuffing, my little small turkey, and I'm grateful. I'm part ashamed that I need the help, and part grateful that I have the help. And so to go from there to running a global multi-million-dollar business, it's only fitting that I turn around and pull back the curtain and say, y'all, this is what I did. This is what you didn't see. This is what wasn't publicized. And so Speak and Write is 3 days of stepping behind the black curtain, learning some techniques. It is like a gospel fest. I will tell you, we party, we have a good time. It is a party too. And our theme this year is boots on the ground.
I got my boots on the ground.
We got our theme is boots on the ground. I was online shopping. I was looking at outfits. So we have a theme party that is off the chain. And then we do a lot of just community. You walk away with a global community. If you ever wanted to expand your reach, come to an event like Speak and Write, where I, the curator of the event, I want you to have more people in your community. I want you to walk away with 7, 8, 9, 15 new contacts. And so I create and curate the experience so that you go home full, because that's what I needed when I was working to get my gifts out of me. So it's intense in the most beautiful way. I tell people, hydrate before you come, get some good sleep, tell your people that I'm busy. You know, the best thing is to come in person. We're in San Diego. It's worth the trip. It's worth giving yourself the gift. While it is a conference, if you have a really good arm and you can throw a rock really far, you can hit the beach, you can hit the sand. And so it is a definite blend of self-care and future care and community growth. So I'm excited that you are coming. I'm excited that your tribe is coming. We made it really easy. We gave y'all a hookup. Do not go directly to my website and register. You will pay more. You want to click this link. You want to go through this beautiful soul, because we've curated a special, oh, it's your tribe, let's hook them up. And I love a hookup. People think since I have a successful business, I love a hookup. So we're going to hook you up. We're going to hook your folk up and make it as easy as possible for you to get in proximity of people running further, faster, doing amazing things in the world, because proximity will change your life. Who's in your environment will influence your choices. Right. And the smartest thing I did was I went to a conference in 1996. I know I'm aging myself, but I went to a conference that scared the bejeebies out of me. No one there looked like me. No one there came from where I came from. I knew I needed to learn what they knew. And so I went back over and over and over again. And so I want to invite you to come, because there's going to be someone there who looks like you. There's going to be someone there who gets you. And you hook your caboose to someone else's arm and ride the wave. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited as well. And you're such a gift, because you went through your journey and then you went ahead and created a space for what you needed, back then. And it's, seeing someone that, that not only looks like you, but may have a similar background or similar struggle, it does something, to the ear, to the soul. And you listen, you don't just hear it, you listen, and then you see the potential and your growth and your evolution, and like you're willing to say, look, don't do that. Don't go down. This is what I did. I did the legwork. I made the mistakes, and here's not necessarily a shortcut, but here's, a sure, like a sure path on your road. And I love that about you, because it's just something that you do all the time. Like, you create these magical spaces for others to, to bloom and blossom and grow. And it's just I don't want to be greedy, because I do have some questions for my sunflower circle. And if we can get to those. So the first one is from Shanice. Hey, Shanice. So Shanice says, I have a question, because I remember sobbing so hard on one of Lisa Nichiols' virtual classes, because I felt that she was speaking directly to me, but everyone else on video was sobbing too. My question is, as an up-and-coming motivational speaker, how can I touch the emotions of my listeners all at once when everyone is on a different journey? I
Yeah.
feel like Lisa has the gift that does this very exact thing.
Oh, Shanice, that's such a great question. And what it's called is there's a technique called scooping.
Mm.
And I have a science of speaking layout and a sense of techniques, 16 techniques. And scooping is one of those techniques. And Shanice, that's what you recognize. And that's what you're asking about. How do I scoop my audience in my story when my audience is in 100 different places, 1,000 different places in their lives? And that's a great technique. And that technique allows anyone listening to you to know that you're their right fit provider. You're their right fit content provider. You're their right fit person for this journey in their lives. And so I'll tell you about another technique. It's called the Valley. And the Valley is a technique of showing your credibility and then opening up a vulnerable moment in your life. And Shanice, what I do is even though the moment is mine, follow me if you can, and then please, please join us at Speak and Write because I'll unpack this and I'll actually show you how to do the Valley before you leave the conference. But inside the valley, inside the bottom of the valley, I will call this part right here the bottom of the valley and the low point. What I do, Shanice, and what I'll teach you how to do is your story is your story, but the one thing that's universal that everyone has are feelings. Everyone's felt shame. Everyone's felt sorrow. Everyone's felt anger. Everyone's felt remorse. Everyone's felt excited. Everyone's felt love. These emotions are universal. So I want you to look at another video of me on YouTube, and I want you to look at it through that lens of scooping and the valley. And in the valley, the emotions are universal. So you'll notice a thread of techniques that I do. And once you step on the campus, I'll show you several techniques. And then you'll look at the speaking in a scientific way and go, oh, wow, she's doing these same techniques every time, different story, different message, but the techniques don't change. And so when you're telling your story, tap into the emotion, but make sure you don't get stuck in the emotion.
Right.
And that's where coaching comes in. And that's where I've coached you a lot, Shakyra, is let's tell the story without the story becoming sinking sand. You can't sink into the story and get stuck in the story, but you show the story versus tell the story. That's another technique, show me versus tell me. So there's a few techniques all happening at the same time, Shanice, but the primary ones are called scooping, the valley, and show me versus tell me. Show me versus tell me is the emotions. The valley is the journey. And scooping is making sure that you, my audience, can fit inside of my story. But it's very intentional and you can be taught those techniques. I've seen thousands of my students go from good to great, go from a level 2 to a level 6, a level 5 to a level 8. And so you can do it. Shanice, what I want you to know more than anything is that the ability to do what you witnessed me doing are a series of skill sets. It's my gift. I didn't know I had it. It was an unconscious competence, but then I identified what are the techniques. So I think the most important thing for you to know is that you can learn how to do exactly what you see me doing. Anything that you like, you love, you feel pulled to, you can learn that. I think that's the most important thing I want you to know is that if you can understand what I'm saying now, what you can learn those techniques.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that because we're all like, you're so magical. And so we're all like, a lot of times when I want to share something that you have, shared with me, I'm like, here's a clip, honey, because
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
can't deliver it.
yeah.
The way you're so passionate. And I love how, you taught me to not like sit in the emotion, because I think that's the scary part for a lot of us is like, look, I crawl, climb, and all kinds of things to get out of that part of my life. And I do not want to,
I
emotionally.
can get stuck. Yeah. And that's one of the main reasons why you need a coach. I'm real big on having a coach, not because I am a coach, but because I was coached. I became committed to coaching others when I saw my life change because I was coached, which is why when you were on the Tamron Hall Show, they said, how can you help her? I said, the best way I can help her is to coach her, because my life was transformed. I hired a coach. I didn't want to hire the coach. I didn't want to pay the coach. I complained. And then the coach couldn't get rid of me, because 8 years later, my life was unrecognizable, which is what you're seeing yourself stepping into, because someone who was 10 to 20 steps ahead of me kept showing me the next step to go. And so to Shanice and all the other sunflowers, get a coach, grab a coach, and you can get coaches in different ways. Of course, this is the premium way, one-on-one time. That's the premium way. But you also can get coached by, I have people coming to my conference. They've been coming for the last 10 conferences. I went to the same conference. I'm not even embarrassed to say, I used to say I was embarrassed to say 42 times. But at the end of that, my business was different. I went from, $72,000 a year is what I was making before I went to that conference, to by the time I finished going to that conference, I was at $450,000. My life changed, my esteem changed, my contacts changed. So hook your caboose to someone else's train going in the direction that you believe you want to go in. And even if your knees knock, your teeth chatter, and you're nervous, that's even good. Because I know many of the time that we're together, you're nervous. And I go, great, you're playing bigger than you've played before. Don't worry, your game will only get better because you keep playing even when you're scared. So I'm not saying this to get you to come to Speak and Write. If it's not a fit, it's not a fit for you. But I will say, submerge yourself repeatedly in a community that stretches you. Get coaching any way you can get coaching, whether it's via video, whether it's at an event, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's small group. You've seen me do it all.
Yes, I have.
I'm big on that because that changed my life. I mean, it changed my life, and I'm not an easy cookie. I mean, in between Lisa and Nichols is Shantae. And that chick right there, don't get it twisted.
Shantae.
Yeah, that's Shantae. And so I would say to Shanice and everyone, like, really become in this next season, go, man, this season, I'm getting somebody who pulls me to the best, better version of me. And normally there's a little age. People who are where you are can only go there with you. They can't guide you. And so have your go there with you crew, but they can't be the ones guiding you. And so often we're getting insight and information for people who are right there with us. Like, how can you give me insight when you're right here with me? I want somebody who's looking in their rear view mirror at this situation.
Right.
So that's how the insight I gave you around mourning. I didn't give you that from what I'm going through now. I gave you that insight and that coaching from my rear view mirror.
Your experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, you don't want, the blind to be leading the blind. And, it's some of the best advice that I've gotten from, my friends is, you should probably go talk to, to someone who has been through that,
Yes.
or someone who,
Yes.
is more experienced. And obviously, usually experience comes with age, but, you want to go be led by someone whose experience evolved through their experience, because sometimes we get jaded by, oh, this person is physically older than me on the calendar, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the right person that should that
Pouring to you,
guiding you.
yeah, and you want to make sure that you are being coached by someone who wants to celebrate your shine.
That, because the gatekeeping is real.
You want to have someone who wants you to shine, like turn your wattage up as high as it can go. And they're not intimidated by your greatness. They're not intimidated by the brilliance that you have and the brilliance that's emerging through you. That they don't want to stifle your creativity because they begin to compare. Comparison is a losing game. Everybody loses. They're not in the comparing game. So I'm real big, and I've outgrown my coaches. So there are times when I've outgrown my coaches and I have to go get another coach, and that's okay. But ideally you want to get someone who's so far in front of you and so generous to you. Be far in front of me and be generous to me, and celebrate and encourage me to speed up, to shine brighter, to play bigger, to be bolder, to impact millions, and to generate millions. Like, that's a lot. You know what I mean? You don't get that everywhere. I know for me, I searched, I walked so much of my journey alone and so much of my journey lonely. And I felt like what I am, a unicorn. And I get I'm a unicorn. But for so long, I didn't equate being a unicorn to being great and being wonderful because I was so lonely. And so now I collect unicorns. I collect I collect individuals that know that they are here to do something big. They're different. They don't dance to the average beat of everyone else. They're discovering all the colors in their rainbow, in their wings. They don't want to be stifled. They have to fly. They don't always understand their future, but they know that it's big. Like, I know the profile of who I attract. My goal, my intention is to make spaces like Speak and Write a safe haven for unicorns.
I love it. I love it, Miss Lisa. Let's go to another question. This is from India. Hi, India.
Yeah.
So India asks, how do I restart or push past after I've been mishandled by individuals with the creativity of my product and vision?
Yeah. So, India, number one, I understand and empathize with that experience and with the pain and the disappointment that comes with feeling betrayed. So let me first sit in that with you and to let you know that you're not alone. I like to say Yana, Yana, you are not alone. So Yana, sis. So number one, make a commitment. I won't make my future pay for my past. So make that commitment now so that your decisions speak more life into your future than their caution from your past. I want to make sure I say that again, that your decisions are about speaking life into your future versus living from caution from your past. Your past is designed to inform you. It's not designed to stagnate you. And so often, culturally, gender-wise, whether it comes to money, deals, love, our future gets stifled because we keep collecting evidence of the past and the pain. While that's important, that should inform the way we make our decisions. It shouldn't make our decisions for us.
Right.
And so, India, your most important decisions need to be made based on logic and fact, not emotion and longing. So watch out. Pull the feeling of betrayal and hurt and fear, pull that apart from logic and fact and information, because the emotion will skew the logic. That being said, your question is, how do you restart and push past? You don't have to restart. You just continue. So number one, you're not restarting, you're continuing. You're actually pulling that experience forward because there was something in that experience that taught you. Did you get the deal in writing? Did you have an attorney look at it? Did you question it? Did you ask for what you wanted? Were you okay to say no if the deal didn't feel good? Did you do it on a handshake? All misunderstandings live in the gray. The majority of the grays are in the handshakes. You want it in black and white. And if it's with a friend or a family member, more black, more white, please. Because that relationship, and what I tell my family and my friends when I'm doing business with them and I write it up in a contract, I say, this relationship is so important to me that I don't want to risk it. So let's put our agreement in black and white. So if we ever have a misunderstanding, we can go back to the black and white and we're not left to our interpretations. And so those are the questions I would ask you, India. And if you didn't do any of that, that's okay. You will do it going forward because of this experience. So you can fail in a relationship. You can fail in a business deal. You can fail. Failing is okay. People have a negative neurological association to failing. Failing is okay as long as you fail forward.
Right.
Meaning, what were the best lessons that came out of it? What's so deeply seated now in your DNA from a lesson that you had to pay to learn that it's going to always live with you? My best deals now are made from the worst failures in my past because now I pull that forward. So, India, sweetheart, you don't have to reset. You just have to continue and push past. Push past, remember, it doesn't mean to forget, it means to live with. And so your question is, how do you live with it? You live with it. And I want you to remember this, write this down. I want you guys to type this in chat. I want to hear y'all saying it. The bigger I play, the bigger my breakdowns. Wait, here's part two. If I'm not having breakdowns, then I'm not playing big enough. I'll say it again. The bigger I play, the bigger my breakdowns. If not having breakdowns, then I'm not playing big enough. I want you to become okay with breakdowns. I want you to become okay with failures. Just fail forward. I'm not saying plan to fail. I'm not saying plan for breakdowns. I'm saying become okay with them, because if you become okay with breakdowns and failure, you're actually going to play bigger, run further, leap more often, because you're okay if you have a breakdown. And you're okay if it doesn't work. Most people never run and leap to fly because they're afraid of the failure. I'm going to tell you, as your coach right now, become okay with failure, become okay with breakdown, because you'll run and leap more often. I'm only more successful than most people that are looking at my life and wanting what I have. I'm only more successful because I ran and leaped more. Not because I'm necessarily smarter. Not because I got a hookup that they didn't get. Not. It's because when they took a leap 4 times and the third one failed, they took 3 more leaps. When I took a leap 4 times and the third one failed, I took 200 more leaps because I just got comfortable with the failure. Got up, fixed my chin, band-aid my elbow, put the money back in my account somehow, apologized to the people that was in the issue, and then ran and leaped again. If there's anything I want you to get, is trusting yourself in breakdown and trusting yourself with a failure. Not expecting it, not planning for it, but prepared if it occurs. It does not change the calling on your life. It does not change the passion in your soul. It does not change the purpose that's been placed in your DNA. Failure, breakdown, falling, pain, heartbreak does not change the calling on your life.
Amen. Preach today. I admire how, like, the tools that you've given me, how they have impacted, like, my bounce back.
Yeah.
It makes all the more difference when, you are fearful, but in the back of your mind, like, you know what? I'm gonna be all right. Like, I've bounced back,
Yep.
I've bounced
Yep.
back before. I can collect myself again. And recently I was recovering from a concussion, and that was one of the things that made me just sit, and as I was still, I had to remain calm because I wanted my head to heal properly. And so I just told myself, look, we gonna bounce back.
Yep.
Like, everything's gonna be all right. We had to take a break from this, a break from that, but our bounce back game up until this point, has
Yeah.
worked, and now,
Yeah.
now
Yeah. And
it's better.
that's the biggest gift. My first solo book's called No Matter What.
Mm,
And the entire book is about building your bounce back muscles. That's literally the tagline, building your bounce back muscles. And if you keep building those, or you trust in those, you'll actually play bigger. You'll play bigger than you've ever played before because you trust your bounce back if in the event it doesn't work. So I love that you are like, that's your takeaway, because that's what I'm about, is bounce back, leap forward, turn your crawl into a walk, turn your walk into a run, then turn your run into a soar.
mm,
Because a crawl is just a soar waiting for you to keep going.
mm. Okay. Like, one of the tools that you shared with me, as far as just bounce back and elevating, along my self-love journey, was mirror work. And I wanted to ask, like, why was that the first exercise you had me do? Like, why do you think mirror work is so
Yeah.
powerful?
Yeah. Well, I quite honestly, you're taking me to a personal place. I was in an abusive relationship, and 29 years ago, and it took everything out of me.
Mm,
And I was diagnosed as clinically depressed, and I was prescribed Prozac. And I had been a motivational speaker for 3 years, and it didn't make sense. I didn't know how I got here. I don't know if you're listening to me now and you can relate to the question, how did I get here? Just type Yana in the chat, because I didn't know how I got there. Like, wait, 1+1, what? Like, I don't understand. It was like, no habla español. I just was confused. And the the doctor said, you've lost sight of who you are. You're marred in your experiences, and you've lost sight of who you are. And I went, oh, I like took it literal. I was like, well, how do I find me again? I needed to find me. I needed to find the warrior queen. I needed to find the spiritual advocate. I needed to find the determination, the woman who was determined. I lost her. And so I got in the mirror every day and I did the 3 sentences that I gave you first. And I've been doing that exercise now for 29 years.
wow.
I do it. I mean, I did it to save my life then. And now I do it to maintain my life. And everyone that works with me, I give them mirror work, because mirror work is the way that before you serve the world, before you get connected to the world, before you anchor and you calibrate with the world, you calibrate with yourself. You remember, that Avatar movie where the avatar syncs, they have the ponytail and they sync with the animal. Well, I believe that we sync with each other. And I wanted to sync with Lisa before I synced with anyone else. And so I won't go through all the exercises, because you can look at the previous episode again if you like.
Mhm.
But it is a way to start the day in your most center core, your most focused core. I did it every day for 60 days. So I did it every day for 6 months. And now I invite my students, anyone that's coaching with me, 30 days minimal, 60 days is delicious. If you really climb out of some stuff, do it 90 days. Just do it as an exercise. The 3 sentences, I'm proud that I forgive you for, and I commit to you that. I never change those sentences. I'm proud that you celebrates all that you've already done. It brings you to the conversation whole. I forgive you for, cuts the shackles to blame, shame, guilt, and regret. And I commit to you that speaks life in your future and intention in your future. So every sentence has a reason. And it allows you to start the day feeling whole for you. I needed to be Lisa's advocate. I was a great champion for other people, but I needed to become my own champion on a daily.
Mm, I love it. We've been doing it here for 30 days. So I'm proud of Sunflower Circle. But
Come on, Sunflower Circle.
yes, I've encouraged everyone, like, let's keep this going. Let's just make
Yeah,
this a habit. And it's something so small. Like, look in the mirror and connect with yourself. We take it for granted. And for me, I realize, like, most of the time when I'm in the mirror, I'm picking myself up, I'm
yeah,
picking myself
yeah,
apart, looking
yeah,
for all the things that are
yeah,
wrong. And it just does something to you, does something to your soul to look in the mirror and to address yourself.
yeah.
The second part, the forgiving yourself, that's a whole episode within itself.
That right there. I did, when I did my first forgiveness, when I did it the first maybe 3 days, I did the ugly cry. I mean, I did I call it the real cry, the soulful cry, the Viola Davis cry. I did
Yes.
yeah, and the beauty of it is that if you do that every day, you actually will begin to heal, because you keep saying, I forgive you for. And it just shocked me that I was forgiving myself for getting into the relationship. And what I said was, I forgive you for lowering your bar, for being so lonely that you lowered your bar. I couldn't even say it. It was inaudible. Like it was. And then over the course of maybe 45 days, I had to do it every day. Every day I had to say it. If it came up, if it comes up, you need to say it. And then somewhere around, I don't know, 60 days, I don't know when it was, 70, I said, I forgive you for low. And there was no energy behind. I forgive you for lowering your bar. And then one day I said, I forgive you. And I went, oh, I've already forgiven myself for that. It happened. You don't have to figure out the day it happened. Just keep saying it. And it happens. And here's what I love. You can do it while you're combing your hair. I used to do it while I was twisting my hair. So I wasn't losing more time. I had time to do it. I would do it while I was washing my face, exfoliating my face, brushing my teeth. I'm like, it was I treated it like washing my face, brushing my teeth, doing my hair, doing my mirror work.
I love that you invited us to, have the freedom to revisit some things. And that's why I encourage us to continue to do it, because for me in the beginning it was great, honestly. Like, I loved it. I felt like, my reflection was like, wait, and like, hey girl, you finally, you see me,
Right.
But recently, getting into it from, having my concussion, when I got to the forgiveness part, first it was, I'm proud of you for going to the ER, because I had to get begged to go to the ER. And then when I got to the forgiveness part, I actually had to forgive myself for the times where I did not go to the ER.
Yeah.
I too, was in an abusive relationship. And, for the sake of someone else's, freedom, I wouldn't go to the hospital, or I wouldn't call the police. And I became really emotional about all the
Mhm.
times where I didn't seek medical attention. And that's when it got really ugly. It got really ugly for me. But it was a dual, situation, because I was also proud of myself that where I am today,
Right.
I prioritized my self-care. And where I was back then, I was
Yeah.
prioritizing someone,
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just encourage you to continue to do your mirror work. It does get dark, it does get a little ugly sometimes,
A
but
little messy miracles,
yes.
messy magic.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it. And Miss Lisa, you were recently on Broadway, and n- congratulations, first of all, because you slayed. And now you have Let's Grow, the movie, out. And I just watched it. I was blown away. It was phenomenal. I love like spoken word and poetry. And you looked like, the Oracle and the Matrix, like all throughout. It was so powerful. And it really did like spark like cultural conversations like that they can be very uncomfortable to have. Like, where did you get the inspiration to create such a magical piece?
I was pissed.
Mm,
I was really mad. I was tired. I was tired of having conversations so that, and particularly black and white conversations, so tiptoeing around so that I don't offend a white person.
mm,
And while my intention was never to offend, my truth was trying to come out unedited. And I know I had to know my heart. My heart is never to try to hurt you. That's not my heart. But my heart also wants to be heard unedited. My heart wants you to know what's on it without the fear of how it might land on you. I want to have an adult conversation across cultural lines, trusting that you have the capacity to handle the truth.
mm,
And I have a friend, white man, who wanted to do the same. So here you have these two individuals, a black woman and a white man, saying, we just need to have a real conversation at some point.
My
And
name say grown folk
a
conversation.
grown folk conversation. The revolution might not be televised. You might need a band-aid at the end of this conversation, but hold up, it'll be worth it. I'm
I
a
love the
deliver.
disclaimer in the beginning. In the beginning, Lisa lets you have it.
Let me just say, so we decided that we want to do this. Now, here's the deal. I'm like a hidden spoken word artist. Most people don't know that about me. I love spoken word. I love poetry. You can hear it in my speeches. If I could just do spoken word, I would just do that all the time, right? And
Mhm.
so I like to play in it. So I know that in my spoken word, she is unedited. That is Shantae. That is not Lisa Nichiols, the transformational coach. That is Shantae, born and raised South Central LA, trust and believe, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. So I decided that I just say all what I felt in my spoken word because the lyricist comes out of me and the truth comes out. And so Sean, the gentleman, the white guy in the movie, he's a spoken word artist as well.
Wow.
So he said, well, why don't we just do spoken word? And so we literally wrote how we felt separately, if you can believe it. And then we went and got the other gentleman, David, to represent a Black man's perspective. So a Black man, a Black woman, and a white man's perspective. And we all separately wrote.
Oh, wow.
And then we would get on Zoom. And when I tell you fireworks were lighting as we allowed our experiences to collide, to go, where does I speak? And then who comes after me? And then who comes after him? So we didn't change our lyrics for each other. We wrote our truth and then blended it to see how they can dance together. And then we decided, let's just do it on YouTube, make a YouTube. And then we went, what if we just made it a
It's
movie?
a movie.
So we went and got a real Hollywood director. We got a set, we got a whole production team, and the production team didn't know what they were in for. You saw the movie. So
Yeah.
there were parts of the movie where by the time we got to cut, the team, the cameramen, the sound, they were gone. They were crying.
Believe it.
They had to take a break. Like it's a 16-minute movie. It took us 16 and a half hours to shoot that 16-minute movie. And then I won an award for it. I was so crazy. I won an actress award for it. I'm not even an actress. And I was like, I feel like I was cheating because I wasn't acting. I meant every word I say.
I meant every word.
Meant every word I said. So yeah, it's a beautiful movie. I highly recommend you take a moment and you watch it. It's online.
Mhm.
I'm sure, will you have the link here so
Yes,
people
I will put the link for you guys to watch it. Please
just
watch it.
hold on to something because it's loaded. It's a grown folk movie. It's like at the very beginning of the movie, I say to every single one of my white sisters and brothers who
Mm.
want to have a conscious conversation, can you handle the truth? Because if you can't handle the truth, turn this off right now. And I'm not saying it to hurt you, but I'm going to honor the fact that you say you can handle the truth. So here it
About to
comes.
get real.
It's
Mm.
about to go down. And so and I gotta say again, the intention of the movie is to start a courageous conversation. It's not the conversation. The whole movie, 16 minutes, was just to get to the courage to have a conversation. And I hope you saw that in the end. Like so.
I did, and it touched me especially because I have a really special friend. We met through our sons. They are fresh from the Ukraine, maybe about three years ago, and I met them when they were just learning English and everything. And I was just having a conversation with her. Like I admire her care, especially not being American. If I, I think I posted a video of Dochi and she was talking about, being a black woman, all these different things. And so Anna sent me a text. She's like, is it okay if I put, all women, such and such and such? And we were able to have a conversation about it. And it's not necessarily, having the proper perspective, but like you said, being
Yeah,
open and ready to
yeah,
have an uncomfortable
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. And make a statement on the front end. I love you on the other side of this conversation.
Mm,
I love you on the other side. And if you feel uncomfortable, it's not because I want you to hurt. It's because this journey is messy.
mm.
Period. Period. And the greatest gift that I can give you is to stop trying to water it down. The greatest gift I can give me is to stop holding it in and simmering in silence.
Ah, talk about it. I want to get into unstoppable, speaking stories of grit and just like transparency. Like, tell us a little bit about unstoppable.
I love that. So we're in a season where, the climate is about uncertainty. And I wanted to produce a reminder that really spoke to your human spirit is unshakable and unstoppable.
Mm,
So no matter what the climate is out there, your human spirit doesn't shrink to adjust to the current economic climate, the current political climate, the current cultural climate. Your human spirit is unstoppable. Lean into that. You may not know the how, but know that you're going to get through. You may not know the where or the when, but know that you're built for such a time as this. I wanted the book to be a reminder, which is why it's not just my story. It's over 20 stories of individuals who have unstoppable grit to remind us that this is not a possible time in our lives. This is a no matter what
mm,
time in our lives. Because when you move from optional to non negotiable, when you move from maybe to no matter what, energetically, something happens in you. You don't have to pick the topic. I'm not saying you're no matter what when it comes to your education, but you are maybe when it comes to your faith. I'm saying your whole essence is no matter what.
mm.
Everything in your ecosystem begins to change. All of a sudden, the mountain that's rising in front of you, well, you won't have to worry about the mountain. The mountain begins to worry about you. You begin to say, I might not go over the mountain, but I'll go under it, I'll go around it, or I'll go through it. And so don't measure the mountain, measure your human spirit. It's unstoppable. I have a sign in my bathroom that says, I trust my next chapter. I trust my next chapter because I know the author.
Mm.
And that's what that book is about. You are the designer of your destiny, and you are the author of your autobiography. And you can write a story that says, I always got back up. Don't wonder if you're going to get back up. And don't worry if your chapter 4 is uncomfortable.
Right.
Keep writing because chapter 14 is going to be amazing.
Hmm. Unstoppable. It reminds me of, I think you were at Mind Valley in Dubai and you were just, the whole audience was like, it's my time. And you're like, even if it gets hard, and it just penetrated my soul because
Yeah.
a lot of times when things get a little difficult or challenging, we're like, oh, I guess that's my sign to stop. You know,
Yeah.
I guess this is not really the proper, correct timing for it. And we look at these challenges as signs to maybe not, to not keep
to
going.
pause, to pause. And while sometimes you need to slow down and reassess, I believe that there's something coming through you. And the external world and the external world's experience don't get to define the greatness, the calling, or the purpose on your life. So, it goes back to what my grandmother said, your conviction and your convenience don't live on the same block.
Mm,
And whenever grandma would say that, she'd go, don't wait for it to get easier. You go get stronger.
mm. That's a different prayer. I used to pray like, God, please let things just get, easier. And now I pray for the strength to, to navigate, all these different things. And Thankfully, I have, I have you again at this stage in my life. Like, I'm so appreciative of you, joining our space because it's so new and so fresh, and you encouraged me to create it.
Thank
I was on the fence about it, and you encouraged me to help as I healed. And I love your idea of being like a wounded healer. And
Yeah.
yeah, your transparency and your generosity, it's unmatched, Miss Lisa. I love you so much.
Well,
Thank you.
I cannot wait to share a hug, share a dance, share some boots on the ground with you at Speak and Write. I can't wait to watch you continuously open as the beautiful flower that you are, and for all of your entire community. I think that you're in a season where you look in the right places, and there's so many great examples and so many great charging stations. I'm a charging station for you. I'm a charging station for this community. And so, as long as you plug in and you keep going, you become your own charging station. And then you graduate and become someone else's charging station. And what I love is that you can be charging and charge someone at the same time. You can receive and give at the same time. You can be for someone and still become at the same time. And so there's no arrival, there's just a different phase of the journey. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we get to play together. I'm excited that we're able to extend an invitation to your community to hook their caboose to your train. And because they're connected to you, they get access to us. They get access to me, because you're the only one in this arena like this that I extended this invitation to. And so if you're hearing my voice and you're wondering, should you come? If there's anything in your belly that's remotely jumping, remotely awakening because of this conversation, without you even having all the clarity as to why, follow that intuitive note. Follow that intuitive sign. I did. It turned out really, really well for me. And I've seen so many others follow that message in their belly. It may not make logical sense in your head, and watch out, because your head will sometimes try to talk you out of what your spirit, your soul, your intuition is trying to wake up in you. So, follow the part of your soul that's going to create the best memories for you. And I for those of you who will be there, please let me know that you're a sunflower, right?
Yes.
Please, please just come up to me and say sunflower, or have one in your hand, and I'll know.
I can't wait. I'm like, is it August yet? But not yet.
Almost. All right, soon come.
Yes, soon come. Well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. And remember, love on you.
Always.
Not everybody can get your vision. Not everyone can understand. But here's the thing I want you to walk away with. If everyone doesn't get your vision, it's because God didn't give your vision to everybody. God gave your vision to you. And you're the only one that have it right here in your belly. And your job is to nurture that vision. Your job is to feed it with time, to feed it with training, to feed it with coaches who are 20 to 30 steps beyond you. Your job is to give it what it needs so that it can be birthed into the world, so that now your vision is our reality.
If my self-love journey is helping you in any way, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe.